Shalom, it's your brother Yara, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachach Wadash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom to the elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that the Most High will have mercy on in these latter days. Shalom to you, shalom to the prophets, the men of the Lord that are preaching the words, especially on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to all you brothers. I have another article here, and it says the Christian band responds to its lead singer saying he no longer believes in God. So this is a Christian rock band, which I never really heard of them before, but I get a picture of them down here. A bunch of Edomites, basically, and honestly, no one really should be shocked because Esau really doesn't have the capacity to believe in the Most High. You know, he can believe in an idea of him, this idea that he forms in his head, but ultimately when you go into what he believes in, or his idea of what he believes in God, it's just another idol. You know, something that allows him to do wickedness, do whatever he wants. He can sin whenever he wants. You know, and the Most High will just forgive him and forgive him. You know, he can plan to do wickedness and you know, and go and get saved, and he's passed that on to us, to Jake, you know. But I'll read this article here, not the whole thing, just the main points. There's a video too if you brothers want to watch it. It says members of a popular Christian band that's been together for 20 years reacted to a shocking announcement from their lead singer John Steingart, which he could be a so-called Jew, that he no longer believes in God. Hawk Nelson told Fox News in a statement that God is still for John, and he still matters. That doesn't change just because we question it, you know. So let me get this, because this happens to Jake as well too. She's rooting for Jake, but we all know Esau is a really good example of it. This is Romans 1:17. It says, "For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith." And Esau ultimately doesn't have faith. He doesn't have faith in the Most High. And I get that in Isaiah, but ultimately, he only trusts in himself. He only can trust in the things that he sees. You know, he'll try, you know, but ultimately, when push comes to shove, he wants to be the Most High, you know, and he doesn't have the faith that it really takes to do the work, you know. And faith is a gift, you know. The Most High has to be dealing with you. He has to give it to you, you know. Verse 18, it says, "For the wrath of the Most High is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness, because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them." So the Most High has to show it, you know, ultimately. And the Most High is not dealing with Edomites or so-called white people, you know. Verse 20, it says, "For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made," meaning he trusts in all of the things, you know, he can, all things he can see clearly, you know, he'll believe in it, you know, he'll make up some bullshit theory, you know, about how it came to be, you know. But when it comes to the Most High, giving the Most High credit, you know, he just ultimately he can't do it, even if he pretends, you know. Even it says, even his eternal power, the Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because of that, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, you know. And and that's Esau, very, very ungrateful. All these drugs, not one single thing did Esau create, you know. He's ripped off of it. He's altered it, you know. He may have discovered a thing or there, but he hasn't created anything, you know. But he'll claim to be the creator of things, you know. taking everything that the Most High created and trying to make it his own, and it goes into it. Uh, Neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. you know, and that is business as usual. For Esau, Edom. Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Didn't they profess themselves to be wise, to understand the Bible with this Christianity dogma? Now we're finding out the Hebrew Israelites, you know, what looks like just a bunch of niggas on the corner on the streets are cutting through you, showing you that the true wisdom is given unto us. We understand the Bible far more than any Edomite Christian ever did. Uh, Verse 23, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like the corruptible man. Saying they'll have these ideas that God is fallible. He changed his mind. Now you can be a homosexual. you know Now it's okay. Now you can eat pork, as if the Most High isn't, in the past, present, and future. And he changed, into birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Verse 24, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. And that's them being freaks, saying the Most High is okay with it now, saying God made a mistake, the way he made certain anatomies, but you can do that with those body parts, Verse 25, he says, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. So ultimately, that's what they're doing. They want to praise man. That's why he doesn't believe in the Most High. He wants to praise man over the Most High. Because if you don't believe in the Most High, then what do you believe in? How do you explain what is? How everything came to be? It says, Christian singer makes shocking announcement. I no longer believe in God. One of our best friends, one whom we have walked, worked, and lived alongside for 20 plus years, revealed some of his innermost feelings on his faith journey this past week. Bandmates, whatever, the Christian rock band frontman shared a lengthy note on Instagram. I've been terrified to post this for a while, but it feels like it's time for me to be honest. Yeah, because even some of those Edomite Christians, they'll get on you. They have that. They have some kind of spirit on them. Steingart said, after growing up a kid in a Christian home, being a pastor's kid, playing and singing in a Christian band, and having the word Christian in front of most of the things in my life, I'm now finding that I no longer believe in God. And I wish I could say I was shocked, formed in 2000. So this band he's been doing this for 20 years, but really what's most likely to happen is he's got all the money he's gonna make from it, he's probably had those thoughts since 2000, and he saw this Christian rock band as a way to get paid, and he got paid, as the band shifted from fast-paced punk rock to contemporary Christian music with songs like those from their latest 2018 album, Miracles, after Steingart switched from guitarist to lead vocalist in 2012. And this here is his post. It says, this is not a post I ever thought I would write, but now I feel like I really need to. I've agonized over whether to say this publicly, and if so, how to do it. But now I feel that it's less important how I do it and more important that I do it. So here it goes. And they're soft, man. Just the way they speak. Says, after growing up in a Christian home, being a pastor's kid, playing and singing in a Christian band, and having the word Christian in front of most of the things in my life, I'm now finding that I no longer believe in God. Which that's what we had read earlier. The last few words of the sentence were hard to write, I still find myself wanting to soften that statement by wording it differently or less specifically, but it wouldn't be as true. Well, at least the devil told the truth. At least the process of getting to that sentence has been several years in the making. It didn't happen overnight or all of a sudden. It's been more like pulling threads on a sweater and one day discovering that there was no more sweater left. Well, the Most High put a strong delusion on you, really. If you ever did think you believe, then that's the Most High's doing. But ultimately, you built up this idea of the Most High in your head that wasn't Him, you know, and now you don't even believe in that. He says, I have been terrified, to be honest, about this publicly for quite some time. Because of all that, I thought I would lose money, I'm still scared, but I'm writing about this now for a few reasons. Firstly, I simply can no longer avoid it. Processing this quite quietly felt right, and when I simply had doubts. But once they solidified into a genuine point of view, it began to feel dishonest not to talk about it. And that happens actually to brothers in the truth as well too, the way he's wording this. But ultimately, the Most High was clearly never dealing with, an Edomite. But look at this post. This guy's got 30,000 followers and he's got 11,000 likes. Showing you, man, this place is through. Absolutely through. Let's get Romans 3:3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? God forbid, yea. Let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and thou mightest overcome when thou art judged. And that's really really true. And I'll get Isaiah 14 just to show why that spirit is on him and where he's most likely to go, where this is headed. Let's see, it's Isaiah 14. Sorry, Shalakia. I meant to go to Isaiah. It says, I start from 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? But thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, because ultimately that's what's in his head. He wants to exalt himself. Before you can exalt yourself, you have to rule out that there's an almighty Most High power. That's your first step, because ultimately that's what's in his heart. Because Esau wants to replace the Most High because of his standing. And it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. The level of pride it takes, just to even think that. I can't even conceive what it would be like to be the Most High. I can't even conceiving it, And here he is, of the mind that we can solve it. We can figure everything out. We know where planets and stars and stuff came from, and the earth and the elements and gravity and all of these mysteries that he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. He's saying it all just happened. It's a puzzle. We just gotta figure it out. We're really the gods. That's his philosophy. That's how he thinks. It says, yet you shall be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And when it's all said and done, you so-called elites, you Edomites pushing this throughout the earth. This is how the nations are gonna look on you. They that see shall narrowly look upon thee, like squinting their eyes, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the whole earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Yep, just like that, because ultimately, these guys are the bottom class, of society in terms of the views of the Most High and what really is. And it's no shock at all that, you see an article like this. The real shock is that they told the truth, and he's still out there, not out there trying to get money, off of this thing. So this is the last precept here. This is 2 Corinthians 4. I'll start at 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, and they were never, the gospel wasn't really given to them anyway, so they, by definition, are lost. It says, in whom the Most High of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine upon them, And that's really the point, And I just wanted to share that with you brothers. Hopefully y'all were edified. Shalom.